Yasu Malagido.
Turn that fucking song off!
Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Computer Love, Part 84.
My name is Michael Flannery. I'm also known as Psycho Mike, owner of Psycho Mike's Beach Body Shop on Venice, living in Van Nuys. Yeah, I'm looking for a date, girlfriend, wife, long-term relationship. I'm looking for somebody who likes me for me. Somebody who not only understands Psycho Mike, but she understands Michael Flannery. How would I describe myself? Physically, as a work in progress, as are we all. We're all works in progress. So the key to a good relationship with Psycho Mike is dealing with Psycho Mike. Nothing gets in his way. I mean, relationship-wise, don't ask me, do you want an omelet? Make an omelet. Make an omelet, all right? Psycho Mike is impervious to emotions. He thinks emotions are for the weak. He thinks that there's no such thing as good things or bad things, only things. And it's your reaction to them that determines what's good or bad.
I'm pretty sure this is my father. Oh, we're recording? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, holy shit. These are like old VHS date tapes, people before, we were tortured with online dating. People used to do this all the time in the 80s, 90s and submit tapes, and people would pick them up, and, you'd be extremely lucky to get, I don't know, what appears to be me in 20 years. What exactly is in those omelets? But the point is, it, you might want to drop the psycho from your name. I mean, what about instead of psycho, just say great Mike? That's, I mean, like he owns his own bike shop. So, ladies, at least he's got monthly money coming in. So, today's economy, with, food prices and look, it's clear that this was kind of the, form of online dating, what it is today back then, but it hasn't gotten any better, so I keep doing these shows. Why? I don't know. I mean, nobody really listens, Does it get me a date once in a while? Absolutely. I don't have to own a bike shop to get a date, but, I guess that could help. But look, the point is, if you want to listen to more of these thrilling jokes, just subscribe to my channel. It is at the Malaka Podcast 647. No, it's not. That's actually my TikTok page. I've been kicked off there multiple times. Well, two. Because copyright infringement, but I don't know. I still don't understand how somebody can put a clip of themselves in a theater taping a movie and get millions of hits. I put a clip of a movie from 1984 and I get flagged. So I'll never understand that. But the point is, if you want to see some cool clips and stuff, go on the TikTok page. That's that one. But the main page is the YouTube page, the Malaka Podcast, at the Malaka Podcast 416, and enjoy some laughs. But until then, I'm going to share some more of my lovely online stories here. And my God, let's, whatever happened to Psycho Mike? Do you think he's still alive, or do you think he, he probably, probably killed a few people, right? I mean, you gotta assume that at some point this guy's just gonna snap, right? But but again, ladies, he's got the bike shop, free repairs, it's this is all allegedly. I don't know. I mean, he could have, No, he's probably in jail. But anyways, again, the cut off sleeves, first impressions are everything, but here we go. Let's tell some stories, huh? Why not? So this one woman I talked to online here, we're just bullshitting back and forth here, I'm just asking, her what kind of chocolates, candies she likes, simple stuff, you know. And then I figure I'd give her a call because, I want to see if this person's actually real. If you listen to my past shows, if you're one of my 4 fans, you'll find that there's a lot of, scammers out there. So, or, people are just trying to have a quiet affair. You just don't know. So, I called her a few times and it just automatically hung up. So maybe she's in the middle of something. I mean, she didn't tell me that. Maybe she's lying or sitting next to her husband or, the pool boy, by the pool and just chilling. And I don't know, like, what is it with women and pool boys? I mean, like, you really don't have to be, like, in that good a shape, right, to be a pool boy, right? I mean, you just kind of, like, as long as you can hold, the long rod and, like, what to do with it. And, oh, okay, I get it. Okay. The point is, I don't know what's going on here. So, and then I just gave her a call. I'm close to a hospital. Bear with me. So basically, there's a lot of snow out there still, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe somebody slipped and fell, or I don't know. Maybe a snowman got murdered again. I don't know. But just leave his top hat on if you see him. Yeah. So I'm wondering what's going on. And I texted her. I said, like, why'd you hang up on me twice? And then we started arguing, of course, because that's that seems to be the go-to move when you do online dating. Either you get along with somebody, or I find a lot of times, and again, I'm not saying this is like every woman, but like they either dig the whole Psycho Mike Jr. here, or they tend to maybe I remind them of a stepfather they had. I don't know, but either way, something goes wrong. So, we just, I'm like, no, you didn't. Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. No, I didn't. And, at one point I said, you threatened me and talked down to me. That sounds about right. She's like, I'm fine. I just need to sleep. Okay, so maybe I did end up breaching her. I don't know. Some of these stories are old, folks, so who knows? I mean, it could be her fault, could be my fault. We could be both Psycho Mikes, who knows? But Psycho Michelle, maybe, who knows? And once again, I never said you weren't fine, yeah. And then she's like, okay, fine, I'm just tired, okay? And I says, you keep saying I said all these things, and, it's not true. It's not very nice, Sorry, I'm confused. Of course you are. So, yeah, I think, right off the bat, if someone doesn't want to talk to you on the phone, I mean, don't take it personally, but, I mean, it could be a million different reasons, okay? So just, it's not all about you. I try to tell myself that all the time. I mean, sometimes it's tough. I mean, I'm an Aries, European. I got a lot of stubborn strikes against me here. So, but sometimes you just got to let it go. So, I like to think, I learned something there, but probably not. And then on my profile, like I put some pictures of me. Yeah, so I kind of look like if like Psycho Mike, maybe had, Mr. Clean if he was off the roids, as a stepbrother. But, yeah, so, I always say I look like a combination of like, if like Vince Vaughn, Jack Black, and, like Kevin James, now, like had a kid. So, I think it's pretty accurate. And then this one woman messaged me, and she thought I looked like if Jimmy Fallon had a I know. I already don't believe her. But she said if Jimmy Fallon had a kid with the lead singer from Stain, I don't know the guy from Stained, or no, Disturbed. Oh, sorry, no, listen, all these bald singers look alike to me. Yeah, it's Disturbed. My bad. Yeah, but she said Jimmy Fallon, it's the eyes, and that lazy smile. Oh boy, you sure know how to get to my heart. I'll never be otherwise convinced. It's a good smile, though. Haha. Yeah, that saved it. So, you know, ooh, was that was a guy from Disturbed, right? That classic ad lib. Yeah, I think so. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what the point is here. I mean, I look like the guy from Disturbed. So yeah, I guess you could say, you got to use the attributes you're given in life. I guess. I mean, he's the lead singer of a band, and I'm sure he gets, I'm sure he gets laid once in a while. So that's nice, So that's that. So one other girl I talked to, and I'm sure it went well like the others. And I think I think I gave her a compliment, and she said, "Oh, why, thank you. I'm having a no good, very bad day." And I go, "Oh, well, what happened? If the guy from Disturbed can't save you, then who can?" And then she said, spent the last 2 days moving cosmetics or cosmetic department across the store. I'm just leaving work now, 2 hours late, and I'm exhausted. And then I'm like, there, hugs. Just try to help, right? I think I saw the lead singer from Disturbed actually do that, with a fan, and I don't know, he seems like a nice guy, so why not? And then she's like, just got home. How much would you hate me if I asked for a rain check? That's right. See, I think I asked her to see her that same day, and then I think she canceled about maybe a few hours before. And then I said, well, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'd be very disappointed, but at the same time, I'm not surprised because it didn't seem like she was that into it, and yeah, And I said, it sounds like the last week, hasn't gone good for you, and you're quiet today, and there's 45 minutes before we're supposed to meet up, and it's yeah, didn't think it was gonna go anyway, so no worries there. And then she's like, you're assuming the same as every other woman. I literally just walked into my door. Then I said, I'm not a woman, but again, I mean, it's 2026. You always got to ask that question, right? As the same as my bad. Okay. I think she's trying to say she's a woman too. So whew. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying what I prefer. That's all. The thought of a trip down the DVP right now isn't thrilling for me. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you live in Toronto, the DVP is a certain kind of highway, which nobody likes. It's horrible. It's like that. I guess it's like that freeway in LA there. I don't know. I forgot what it's called. Where you can just put your car in park. Like you're not going to go anywhere. So it just sucks. And soon they're going to have. Well, I guess now they do have tolls, and I think they're adding more tolls, and the city of Toronto, I guess is not making enough money on the classic bike lanes. That was a great idea. More bike lanes in downtown Toronto. Yeah, that's what we need during rush hour. So it's just I get it. It's a pain in the ass. So I'm like, okay, I'm like, what do you want me to say here? I've already said your answer, but either way, I'm going to be the bad guy here. So thanks. Yeah, I'm at the point in my life. Listen, I know you're not supposed to say that, and whatever, but I mean, come on, 45 minutes. You could have let me know at least in the morning or something. Of course, I'm not a big fan of mornings, so I would have eventually got it at 12, and we could have gone from there. And then she says, "No, you aren't the bad guy. I am. I know that. So it goes back and forth. I feel bad. You feel bad. We're all screwed here. I'm going to cancel for tonight. No shit, and hope you don't despise me for it." And at this point, I don't think she had any intention in coming down. So, and I'm in my 40s now, and I said years ago, once I turn 40, I'm truly not going to give a fuck. So I just told her, I said, oh no, I do. I delay plans today, and could have worked as well. Plus, you told me last minute, so I'm pretty disappointed. So why would you ask me if I was going to be disappointed if you canceled tonight where you had every intention of actually canceling? And then she said, I didn't have any intention of canceling, which, is bullshit. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to cancel, that's fine, but give someone a good advance, especially, for, let's say, the last week, if you've, arranged plans and all that. It's a pain in the ass. But again, it's online dating. There's a reason why a lot of people, I'm not just saying her, I'm sure I got my problems too. Not bad as Psycho Mike, but I don't have any shirts that have cut off sleeves. I mean, for that, you got to actually have muscles. And I don't know, some guys just want to show off their tattoos. It's a whole insecurity thing. But the point is, just people plan ahead of time for this. That's all. I mean, they only have certain days free during the week, mostly weekends. So, we all got to make rent in Toronto, which is, almost impossible nowadays. But, just give it a little plan. That's all, And I said, well, I know that. Okay, so you're coming late? Not at all? What? And, I'm just like, this is, I'm just bored at this point. So, yeah. And, she's like, I didn't plan for tonight with the intention of canceling. I planned for tonight thinking it would be the best opportunity, not knowing my week was going to go down the gutter. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you know your week is, if you don't know your week is going to go down the gutter, that's fine. But as the week goes on, you kind of get a good sense of it, right? I mean, that's just me. It's just human instinct. That's all. But, and I said, yeah, join the club. I didn't cancel last minute. Also, you haven't talked to me all day, and you've been talking up a storm here, and you canceled on me. So what do you want me to say? You could just relax for a bit, get ready, and then come down after, rush hour. She could, But again, the whole being silent thing, that's... that pretty much indicates she had no intention of coming down anyway. So, which doesn't make any sense using that as an excuse anyway. But anyways, because you're going to do that anyway. So, and then, she sends me pictures of what appears to be like a makeup rack or something. So, I don't know, maybe she's trying to prove that, that she really is busy at work. Which really doesn't prove anything. I could go to any store right now, take a picture of a magazine rack. Again, I'd have to remind, people in the last 20 years, what a magazine is. But, but then she after messaging me all these beautiful pictures, she says, not that you care. This was my day, not on my phone, moving the cosmetics department. I'm not looking for sympathy or empathy, good, or even understanding. I wasn't on my phone at all. So correct me if I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I'm almost positive for the most part, unless you're, a photographer for GQ, I'm pretty sure she took these on her phone. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have a job where you can just take pictures of your work, you really can't be that busy. I'm just putting that out there. I don't ever claim to be that busy at my job. I mean, I work security, so I'm really never busy. Um, you know, and I said, well, so much for not making me the bad guy, huh? And I said, and that was something that turns into a competition. Second, I will put my week over your week, any week. And then she said, I'm not making you the bad guy. I'm telling you why I wasn't on my phone. Again, pictures on the phone. Just okay. I'm like, well, you have to be, And I'm like you're not on your phone right now texting me, So I think these are all valid points, or were you just ignoring me? I'm not ignoring you. Wow, I just talked to nothing as I got hung up on. Why did you call just to hang up on me? I could have sworn she hung up on me. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, this just goes on, and it's just, I don't know. I get the sense, that she doesn't care, considering that after she said that, she just disappeared. And, throughout all this arguing, she could have been driving here. So that kind of gives you an idea, and yeah. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to make plans with someone, just, and if you want to cancel, give them a little more time. As soon as you go into a day of work, if it's going to be a shit fest, you know that. Okay? So just say, hey, I don't feel like seeing you. I've seen enough Psycho Mikes in my life to know that I don't need this shit, and that's that. And the worst part is, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care about cosmetics. I don't. If I go out with her, am I gonna, ask her for a deal on some facial cream or some lipstick, or I don't know. Apparently, that seems to be one of the biggest things that people steal in big department stores is lipstick, or for women anyway. Well, maybe guys, if you're and yeah, it's I get it. Prices are insane. I don't know where I'm going with this, but the point is, just if you're gonna cancel on someone, just tell them as soon as possible. That's all. It's a courtesy thing. That's all. Nobody likes the DVP anyway. I don't blame you. If I had $1 for every time a woman told me, oh, I hate driving downtown. Toronto's crazy driving. I don't like it. I avoid driving. I get it. But just let a brother know that if you're going to make it cool. If not, then no worries. That's all. So this other woman I was talking to online, hey, how are you? And of course, I put a question mark at or afterwards because I forgot, but I didn't think it was a big deal. And then she said, "Good you," with a question mark on the same line, which is something I should have done. You're going to see why this is a problem in a second. And then she goes, "What's with the question mark for?" And I said, "Good." I said, "Oh, it's a question." So I said, "How is the site treating you?" I don't meet many people on here. How about you? I said a few, and I said, well, what are you looking for? She's like, a relationship, you and, and then she said, do you only wear t-shirts with people on them? Which I thought was kind of a weird question, but I said, well, before the question, looking for relationships, same. And I said, no, aliens too, LOL. Do you only take pictures with black clothing? And she said, no, why? I added some other colors, but I wasn't wearing all black in my 3 pictures. I said, no reason. Well, yeah, you kind of are, And she said, okay, good luck, hun. I don't like confrontation. Oh, clearly. And then I said, you too, I don't like snobs. So, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes, you just talk to someone and it's just, it's just beautiful. It really is. Like, you just click right away. Sometimes it's, fuel versus fire. And, you know, we all like the heat on that minus 30 day, but sometimes people just clash right away. Don't take it personally. Some people, wear black all the time. Some people like to express themselves on their t-shirts. But, hey, what can you do? What can you do? You just move on. Like I am now. So, this one profile I came across here, it looked pretty fake. I mean, you can tell by looking at it. I don't, like sometimes you look in a profile, and it says it's in your city, but I don't think it is. It could be any random mall in the world, and it just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't really look like the Eaton Center. But, and she described herself in the third person, which I thought was weird, while she's drinking probably one of the big, like people are like you notice a lot of people last few years are just like, I don't know, they're treating their bodies like camels. They just drink a shit ton of water, but they have to bring like a fucking carafe of it like everywhere they go. Like, I mean, like just one day they're gonna, I don't know, fall in a hole, and they're gonna be trapped, and they're trying to just be ready just in case, right? It says here, she loves life, enjoys cooking, and possesses a broad and compassionate heart, which is good. It's not bad. But again, these pictures, well, I mean, let's just say this woman is way out of my league. Obsessed with drinks, water, coffee, doesn't mind wearing shades indoors. And then at one point, ladies and gentlemen, like, I mean, I'll just say this, like, 3 of the pictures sort of look like the same person, maybe, but really one picture looks different out of the 3. And then there's another picture she takes in an elevator. It looks kind of like the first picture, but not the last 2. And then the 5th picture, I'm not gonna lie to you, it just looks like all of a sudden she morphed into Chinese. So I'm just wondering what the fuck is going on here. So I go, you know what? At this point, I'm just frustrated. I just messaged her, not hello, not what's up, and I just messaged her, you're not even trying anymore, are you? And she messaged me back, what kind of relationship are you looking for here? So right there alone, I mean, like, a normal person would go like, are you nuts? Are you crazy? Are you Psycho Mike? I think that'd be a normal response. Instead, she's still in there. And judging by how she looks, you can clearly this is a fake profile. And then I just said normal. And then I said, like, you're not aware that the last picture of you is a Chinese woman, right? And I never heard back. So, that makes me sad. I love Chinese food. I prefer to go out with someone who is real, which is very rare in this day and age. It really, really is. So, like, what do we learn from this podcast here, ladies and gentlemen? 1, I have, way too much time on my hands. 2, it's hard to really find someone you click with just in a simple conversation of a few lines, or like, even if you do, I mean, they end up being a scam, and it's very, very, very disastrous. So in many ways, you're just probably better off spending the night on your own, eating some Chinese food, and just watching some Seinfeld reruns. That's all. Just keep it simple. I'm tired. You can tell from my voice. I don't know. It's a Sunday. It's still cold, but do a podcast anyway. Why not? I mean, were these the best stories today? Fuck no. But it is what it is. Is this considered constructive? I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. But I can tell you one thing: that online dating Still sucks. And will it get better? Probably not. But am I going to keep doing it? Yes. This has been another thrilling and what's the other word I'm looking for? Exciting episode of Computer Love. It's the same as the Wonder Woman. Yeah, that was a horrible movie too. What was it, Wonder Woman 84, right? Yeah, the first 10 minutes just kind of lured you in, and then just, oof. Oh, what a piece of shit. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Computer Love, Part 84.
The sea was angry that day, my friends. Like an old man trying to send back soup in a deli.